During my time in this class, one of the biggest issues that stood out to me that affected the African American community in the United States was the constant commodification of black culture. Early on, before, during the era of Jim Crow laws and segregationism and racism, you had minstrel shows where white people would dress up, do blackface, and perform stereotypes of black people for money, for profits. And black people themselves were not allowed to play themselves in minstrel shows. Most of the time, it was mostly just white actors and actresses doing blackface in their place. Ever since, commodification of black culture is everywhere. If you think about Uncle Ben's rice or Aunt Jemima's syrup or other food, other food icons, because you're using the imagery of African Americans serving you food as a marketing tactic. This has been going on for a while. Even in today's modern pop culture, for instance, the default Fortnite dance originates from Donald Faison, from his appearance on the hit TV show Scrubs, in which he improvised a dance, and he was not credited for it, and yet the dance in the game, along with other dances, of which have also been stolen from other African Americans, profits the game and it benefits the game without crediting the original creators. Even Black Panther, which was an incredibly successful film, and is the highest grossing film by a black director. Ryan Coogler, acclaimed black director, went ahead and directed the film. But the thing is, he didn't get most of the money. The actors and actresses, Michael Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, and the other high-profile black actors and actresses in the film, they didn't make most of the money because Black Panther is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is owned by the Disney Corporation. It's still a small black piece of media in a large white landscape. The Disney company profited from its massive sales, which is just further commodification of black culture. The Walt Disney Company is both executive officer and executive chairman are whites. It was founded by two white people. And moving on, black rappers, hip-hop artists, black musicians, the record labels are predominantly white that they're owned by, and the music is just further commodification. That's another example. And today's celebrities have been criticized by co-opting black styles, black aesthetics, black hairstyle, black accent, called a black sense. It's a trend, black hair, to just categorize it, has become a trend for non-blacks to parrot and wear as fashionable, even when black people still face discrimination in the workplace, in schools, and in everyday life for wearing their natural hair. For example, Danielle Bregoli was criticized for darkening her skin tone, wearing cornrows, and then defending her actions, stating, "It's just a hairstyle, it's just a fashion, I want to look how I want to look, you can't tell me what to do." And by relegating black hair, black style, black culture to just something trivial, to something, it's just this, it erases the cultural identity behind it and removes credit and removes profit even from the black community, because it's consistently commodified and taken for whites' advantage, or even other non-black, non-white races can take part of this as well. Kim Kardashian has long been scrutinized because when she was younger, she had a very light skin tone, but then darkened herself to appeal to the mass mainstream by appearing more ethnically ambiguous. And also, she's been found to be stealing lots of different designs, clothing designs from black designers and black outlets, and then taking them as her own and selling them as her own. Ariana Grande is another very popular celebrity that's been criticized because she's darkened her skin considerably and then changed her music style to be more of a hip-hop and trap-esque musical style, which she had never done before and had never shown interest before. Overall, black culture has always been profited off of from the white mainstream. And even when black culture is accepted, there's an attempt to assimilate into the mainstream viewpoint. A lot of the times, it's done in very specific channels, and you have to do it in a very specific way to appeal to the white audience. Then, oftentimes, it just feeds back into itself and ends up profiting the white executives or the white shareholders or the ones in power, which are typically white.